What's going on, everybody? Welcome to Rock Video Rental. I am Brandon, and with me, as always, is Caleb. And we are continuing on with Cult Movie Month. We're going to be talking about Clue. But before we do that, Caleb, have you watched anything good this week?
Yeah, still doing the same old, same old. We did, I don't think it was finished by last week. We finished the Monster Netflix show, the Dahmer series. That was the first season.
Yeah.
So we're watching the second season, which is the Menendez brothers.
Yep.
Have you watched this? I can't remember if you said you watched this or not.
I watched like half of it.
Okay. Very, very different take,
Oh,
a
yeah.
story from the first season and the second season. And the fact that they go on to do the Ed Gein series, which
Yeah.
is what, season 3 or 4 or something. I don't
Yep.
know. The Menendez story doesn't seem to fit at all.
It doesn't lend itself well to a limited series. That would have been a better movie because even with the Menendez brothers, I think we talked about this last time where it's like I felt like there would have been better serial killers that they could have
Yeah.
made a
Oh,
season
for
about
sure. Yeah.
because the Menendez brothers they killed their parents
Yeah.
and that was it. I mean, they were nuts. They were both nuts. And the bigger story with them was their defense in court and making up stories about abuse and everything from their parents
Yeah.
than it was like the act of killing, where the Dahmer one focused more on Jeffrey Dahmer, his life, and the multiple kills he had.
Hmm.
And the same thing with Ed Gein.
Well,
So
I do
this
understand.
stands out. It doesn't fit well with the other two.
Yeah, I do understand from the idea that the monster series, at least from, I don't know if there's a specific definition for it, didn't say, hey, we're just going to be doing serial killers.
Yeah.
So they have every right and ability. You know what it reminds me of? It's like the
Hmm.
Halloween 3 of the show.
Yeah.
It's there, but it just doesn't fit.
Yeah.
So, but it's still good. It's still very interesting. I think we've got like 2 more episodes left with that one. Um, and then one thing I will say though, I don't know if anyone won any awards. I guess I should have gone and seen, but the character that plays the brother Eric,
Yeah.
there was a episode, and I think it was like a 50-minute episode that we just watched the other night. And if I'm not mistaken, it was a single shot episode. Like
Okay.
I could be wrong. And knowing how they do film tricks and things like that, they could have maybe spliced things together, but it was and I knew right at the beginning of the episode that something was different about this episode because it was in not an interrogation room, but whatever, a meeting room in prison.
Yeah.
And the character was sitting on the other side of a table, and then his defense attorney was on the other side, and they started talking, but there was no back and forth shots. Like they
Mm-hmm.
only looked at Eric, and it was very zoomed out, drawn back, like you're like on the opposite side of the room. And
Okay.
so for the whole entire 50 minutes, all they do is slowly zoom into Eric.
Mm.
And so for 50 minutes, this guy goes off and delivers an insane performance. And like I said, it's very possible that they did not do it in a single shot and they were able to find ways to splice it together. But if it was indeed a single shot, for him to be able to say all the things that he did and perform at the level that he did, that was amazing. Like insane. So, yeah, just I don't know if you saw that episode in particular, but that was crazy. Um, so the other thing we've been watching, of course, is still Ted Lasso. We're on season 2, so having a good time with that. I think that's basically yeah. Those yeah. No, actually, I didn't catch up on Bob's Burger, so it's just those 2 shows right now.
Rock. I will say that I don't have a whole heck of a lot for this week. I did watch Austin Powers: The Spy Who Shagged Me, which is a
Rock.
movie I've seen tons of times and can quote constantly. It's always funny. Uh, I watched a couple episodes of Seinfeld right before we started recording,
Hmm.
just for something to have on. I watched some Big Bang Theory, just background stuff, mostly just whatever my kids were watching, which lately my oldest daughter just wants to watch Pokemon X and Y. So like I've just been kind of catching that and passing. Um, and it's like some random Christmas stuff that they want to watch too. Like I came home one day and they were watching Home Alone, so I caught the end of that. And then the last thing I watched, I was telling you about it the other day. There's a movie from the early 90s called A Dangerous Place, which is about this boy and his older brother. They're like into karate, and the older brother leaves the dojo that they're in and he joins up with like this gang at school. And he just like wants to be cool and like fit in and everything. And the leader of that gang is Corey Feldman. And then basically he gets talked into going into this house to like rob it, and he's unaware that the people that live there are home, but the other guys knew. And Corey Feldman like beats the old man up that lives there, and the older brother is just like not having it, and he's like, "What the hell is wrong with you?" kind of thing. And so the other guys from the gang think that he's gonna like squeal on him, so they kick him, and he like falls down a flight of stairs and dies.
Oh gosh.
Yeah, and then the younger brother like decides to try to join that gang to try to figure out what happened to his brother because they're saying it was a suicide.
Suicide by falling down the stairs.
Yeah, pretty much, I guess, but I don't know. But it was basically like Karate Kid, but way darker because it went from like this younger kid trying to like infiltrate this gang to figure out what happened to his brother and to like get his revenge to all of a sudden he's fighting them in a karate tournament.
Hmm.
Like there was a lot of stuff going on. The acting was decent. I mean, it's early 90s Feldman, which isn't really the best Feldman. That was kind of when he was like drugged out of his mind most of the time.
Oh gosh.
He was okay, passable. The main kid, I can't even remember his name. Like he was fairly young too, maybe like 12 or 13, but he could actually fight.
Hmm.
Like I think he actually had a background in karate, and he does a bunch of different stuff now. Let me see if I can figure out what his name is.
So this is not like the main character from Miami Connection who did not have any background in musical performance.
No, Ted Jan Roberts, who apparently passed away 3 years ago,
Hmm.
at the age of 42.
Oh man.
Yeah, he was in quite a bit of stuff. He was in that um movie that they made about Harvey Milk that had Sean Penn in it.
Oh yeah.
Um, but yeah, this this kid actually knew how to fight, and he was actually pretty good. It wasn't like Karate Kid, where it was obvious that you know Ralph Macchio did training on set to learn how to be somewhat passable. Where this kid could actually do like spin kicks and side kicks and all that kind of stuff, and back
S
elbows and everything that
um,
look.
the kid from Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles too.
Oh yeah,
Uh,
Ernie Reyes Jr.
yeah, there you go.
Yeah, similar to that guy, where like he actually knew what he was doing. But I just thought it was hilarious the idea of a 20-some-year-old Corey Feldman playing a high schooler who also has a black belt. Like, you think of Corey Feldman, and the last thing you think of is karate.
Martial arts, yeah.
Yeah, martial arts, any kind of athletic ability.
Hmm.
Which I read Corey's book, and he would pretty much tell you that he's not athletic at all. So yeah, it was an interesting watch. I don't know if I'd ever watch it again, but it was definitely worth the experience. And I heard about it on a YouTube channel, I think it was. But yeah, if you guys like cheesy 90s Karate Kid ripoffs, then there you go. I also did get around to watching a movie based on a board game, and that was Clue. So let's talk about it. Clue, it is from 1985 and is directed by Jonathan Lynn. The plot is six guests are anonymously invited to a strange mansion for dinner, but after their host is killed, they must cooperate with the staff to identify the murderer as the bodies pile up. The cast, we have Eileen Brennan as Mrs. Peacock, Tim Curry as Wadsworth, Madeline Kahn as Mrs. White, Christopher Lloyd as Professor Plum, Michael McKean as Mr. Green, Martin Mull as Colonel Mustard, Colleen Camp as Yvette, Leslie Ann Warren as Miss Scarlet, and Lee Ving as Mr. Body. And I will say that it took me maybe 5 minutes to figure out that Miss Scarlet was not Susan Sarandon.
Right?
That woman looks a lot like her. They look like they could be sisters.
Yeah, I thought the same thing too. So,
And then I also, well, obviously, as a man watching this, the first thing you notice is Yvette. And I was like, what else has she been in? And then I was like, oh, it's Colleen Camp. Like, I've heard that name. And the first role I recognized her in, other than, this was she was Noah Vanderhoff's wife in Wayne's World.
oh, really?
Yeah. The one that like the camera guy and stuff are hitting on.
Nice.
Yeah. And she's done tons of other roles. That's probably a very minor one in her career that made me laugh and be like, "Oh yeah, that's who that is."
Yeah. Um, yeah, it's a very interesting cast.
Yeah.
Um, and honestly, like for me, I mean, the biggest name is Tim Curry.
Yeah.
Would you kind of agree that that's the biggest name? Because like I mean, Christopher Lloyd's obviously a big one
Yeah,
too.
Christopher, I would say Tim Curry's the biggest name. Um, yeah, and then probably Christopher Lloyd. Michael McKean has done lots of stuff, and so has
Hmm.
Martin Mull. Um, have you ever seen This Is Spinal Tap?
No, we've talked about it so
Yeah,
much though.
yeah, we need to we need to watch that sometime. Michael McKean plays the lead singer of Spinal Tap.
Okay.
David St. Hubbins, I think his name is. And then there's there's a line from that it always makes me laugh where um Rob Reiner asks him, he's like, St. Hubbins, like, is that an actual saint? And he's like, yes. He's like, I believe that was the patron saint of quality footwear. And then recently I watched Planes, Trains, and Automobiles, and I always forget he's the cop that pulls them over when they're driving that old Chrysler LeBaron that's all burnt
Oh,
up.
yep. Yeah, yeah.
But yeah, he's been in tons of stuff. But funny cast, I mean, Tim Curry, Christopher Lloyd, Michael McKean, Martin Mull.
Hmm.
like all those together. And then Colleen Camp was really funny in this too. Um, the humor in this kind of reminded me of The Naked Gun, an airplane.
Yeah. Um, yes. Not quite as well known as those. A little
Yeah,
bit more maybe niche. I mean, that's why we find it here in the cult movie month.
yeah,
So,
and uh, not as rapid fire as those movies are.
hmm, not
Where
until the end, I guess, at least.
yeah, I'm because I mean, A Naked Gun, an airplane, and the movies like that, the Leslie Nielsen movies, it's like joke after joke after joke after joke, and some of them like you're laughing and you miss another one.
Hmm.
Where this they're a little more paced apart, but and there was even some jokes in here that reminded me of the Three Stooges, which I'm sure might have been done as an homage. The one that really stood out to me was when the guy says Mrs. Peacock was a man, and then he gets slapped. Like that reminded me of Three Stooges, like something that would happen in that.
Yeah, or the part where Mr. Green was trying to get Miss Peacock to stop screaming, and then he slaps
He
her.
slaps her. I was trying
Yeah,
to get her to stop screaming. Yeah. Oh man. But yeah, first time watch for me. I know you've seen it before.
yeah. This might be 4, potentially 5 times.
Rock.
So yeah, I remember watching this as a kid with my parents. Just a fun movie, you know, a bit more. Well, I shouldn't say a bit more. Well, yeah, it's a little bit more family friendly than your airplane or Naked Gun kind of thing.
Yeah.
Um, but it's like you said, kind of comparable with some of the humor. What I really enjoyed too, though, is honestly, it's one of those movies that is quite simplistic and a small cast.
Hmm.
One location
Yep.
filming, um, mainly 7 main characters.
Yeah.
I mean, Yvette was there for quite a bit longer than the other one, so maybe you could just say 8. Um, and yeah, just a lot of fun. There's another movie that came out. Actually, I'm gonna look it up to see. Um, when was it? Okay, so it was before this. Wow, almost 10 years before this.
Mm.
Um, called Murder by Death.
Okay. Yeah, I've heard of that.
It came out in 1976. Very similar vibes. Not based on the game or anything, but just that quirky, goofy de- detective sleuthing murder mystery thing. And people start dying, and they're trying to figure out who it is. That one's a little bit different because everyone who's there and associated with it, they're based off of um like mainstream detective people. Like there's a guy who's a knockoff of Columbo. There's a guy I think who is a knockoff of Hercule Poirot. If you know that one, that's like way old school.
No.
Um, yeah, that's something my mom listened to. Death on the Nile. Have you ever heard of that movie or book?
I've heard of the title.
Okay, yeah, he was the detective from that. That was one of the best known from his book series, I think. So, I think there was a Sherlock. No, there wasn't Sherlock. So it's been a while. I'm probably going to watch Murder by Death sometime soon again because it's been so long for that one. But yeah, I often can sometimes get parts of them mixed up because they're so similarly, um, I don't know, related. If you watch the
Yeah.
other one, you would totally see it. So, but yeah, no, the cast really makes this movie.
Hmm.
I remember thinking previously that I felt like Tim Curry made this movie. If you didn't have Tim Curry, you couldn't have this movie.
Yeah.
Just because I do feel like he is the most memorable character, at least for me. But I wouldn't say that. The other characters hold their weight well. So you could have probably interchanged people with other actors and still had a very successful movie with this. But I must say, Tim Curry is one of my favorite elements of this movie.
Yeah, I had him as like the strongest part of the movie. That
Hmm.
and the setting and the set.
Yeah.
Just the mansion was pretty cool and all the different rooms and how it's kind of basically just shot in one spot.
Hmm.
Um, yeah, I think Tim Curry was the strongest part, and then I mean the rest of the cast was still pretty good. Um, I just the whole fast pace and wackiness of the end, I don't think can come together without Tim Curry.
Yeah. I would agree with that part. Now, I don't know if do you have facts and trivia for this one?
I do, yeah.
Okay. I might be stealing something from it just because I've known this one before, and I can't remember if we've talked about this one before. But originally, the plan for this movie was that there were going to be alternate endings, and different theaters were going to have different endings.
Hmm.
And I thought that was a really cool idea because, I mean, it fits so perfect with the game and the movie that if you watched it and then you connect with someone like, well, like just we'll give you and I an example. Like we don't live that close to each other, so we could easily go to different movie theaters. And if we reconnected after seeing a movie on being like, oh, what did you think of the end? And then we both described something completely different, you know,
Hmm.
that how fun and interesting that would be. And I know like this isn't unique to just this movie. It's been kind of attempted or done before. I don't really have an example, but I like that idea just because it fits so well with the concept and the thing of the literal game.
Yeah, that was in my trivia and facts. But I got a little bit more to add to that when I get to it.
Nice.
But because I kind of knew about this movie that they did shoot different endings,
Mm-hmm.
and there, I guess in the DVD, there's options you can choose of which ending you want.
Okay. Nice.
Yeah, but yeah, I don't. It was so fast paced at the end that it was, a little hard to keep up with. But it's just funny, like the different scenarios that he goes through, and all like the physical acting and stuff at the end of it. Like he's falling down on the floor, he's getting up, he's like getting right in people's faces, and he fall that one part where he falls like out of the closet or the fridge or whatever that was.
Yeah. And Mr. Green catches him.
Yeah, that that cracked me up. And it's like, how did he get from one place to another? It's almost like a cartoon at the end.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah, and it's interesting how they were like putting everything together. I like the whole concept of the why are all these people here and that kind of thing is like, oh, you're
Hmm.
all being blackmailed.
By the
Um
same guy.
yeah, I thought it was kind of funny because I don't know if I ever really thought of this before. Um but my wife and I watched it. This was I think she may have seen it before. She kind of said she thought she remembered parts of it. Her review of the movie, by the way, is that it's funny and cheesy.
Yeah.
So she definitely has a future in being a movie review writer. Um, but yeah, she enjoyed it. And at the beginning of the movie, funny thing that I noted was if I was invited by myself to somewhere and it was in the middle of nowhere, I
Yeah.
wouldn't go.
Right.
Not
Yeah.
by
What if one of them?
myself.
What if one person just didn't show up?
Yeah, ruins the whole thing.
Yeah. Oh man. Oh, and speaking of people just randomly showing up, the singing telegram.
Yeah.
Uh, she sings for like 2 seconds and then gets shot, and then they
Mm.
slam the door in her face. I think that part really made me laugh too. It made me think of Indiana Jones
Oh,
with
yep.
the dude with the sword,
Mm-hmm.
like doing all these tricks and everything and trying to be intimidating, and Indy just pulls his gun out and shoots the dude.
Yeah.
Like all that build up for nothing.
No, that is kind of funny now that you say that about like, oh, what if somebody didn't show up? Because you're right, all of this hinges on everything going so perfectly.
Hmm.
Like the cop had to show up, the motorist had to show up, the singing telegram person had to show up. Um, and yeah, just all of it just had to go so perfectly. So,
Oh yeah,
huh.
everything had to be perfectly planned. And then I also wonder, watching this, if this started like the idea of people having dinner parties where they, play different
Oh,
roles and try to
murder
solve mysteries.
murder
Yeah,
mystery
murder mystery
dinners.
parties. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. I wonder if that kind of played into this.
I don't know if it would have kicked it off, but yeah, definitely some inspiration there. Have you ever done one of those?
No.
So I have two experiences. Um, one was a literal, wow, if I could speak, murder dinner party.
Somebody
Uh,
was literally killed and you had to figure out who it was.
no, well, I'll tell you the other experience here momentarily, and you'll probably understand why I say it was a literal one. Our friends hosted it, and there was, so they got a package, and it had all the information, and they tell you ahead of time who your character is, and you're supposed to
Yeah.
dress up as your character, and they give you a little bit of a background story, not a lot, but a little bit. Um, so it was fun. It definitely, of course, makes a difference who you do it with.
Yeah.
But it was fun. It was interesting. I can't remember if I figured out correctly who did it, but anyways, so usually it's centered around actually having an actual dinner, and it takes around hour and a half, maybe something like that. So that one was fun. The other one though was more of one of those event ones where you're supposed to go and a bunch of people go and there are actors and performers.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, this doesn't ring a bell to you. Like I never told you this story. I
You
swear.
probably did.
Okay. It was so bad. It was so bad. It was we did not okay. um y- my brother and a friend of mine went down to near Virginia Beach for a spring break one time. It wasn't
Yeah.
to Virginia Beach, but it was near Virginia Beach. So we were randomly trying to find things to do. And my friend that went with us is a little bit more like adventurous isn't really the word, but he likes to try random things that you don't exactly know what you're getting into. And so
Yeah.
he saw this thing advertised for a murder mystery dinner. He's like, "Oh, dude, we should totally do that." So I was like, "Okay, I'm game to check things out." We go to this place, and it's at a hotel. So you're thinking like, "Oh, like they have a dining hall set up. It'll be kind of interesting. Maybe
Hmm.
they'll set the mood and have some ambiance of like whatever." We get there, and there's a spot where you check in and you have to pay up front. Like you have to pay to reserve your spot. So we paid ahead of time. And we get to the desk that's outside the main door to check in to the hall area. And I look inside and I'm just like, dude, I don't think we should do this. Because it's basically just a banquet hall and they had like four round tables with dishes set out and there was
Okay.
no ambiance, no setting, no nothing. Like it was just like a hodgepodge.
Yeah.
And right away I'm getting this bad vibe on being like, dude, I don't think this is worth it. We should just like count it as a loss. Like I don't even care about trying to get the money back. Let's just go out to eat somewhere and do something different.
Yeah.
And my friend's just like, no, 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 we should do it. So we did it, and it was, and this is not a dig at like local theater performance, like, because I get it, like people are doing things that they love and everything, but this in combination with a murder mystery dinner just did not vibe. Like I, it was a step above like a high school play
Oh man.
that you're trying to interact, and it just felt very forced, and it was very awkward. The food was not good at all. which that's no fault of the actors. But so
Yeah.
the actors were performing while they're serving you, and the plot of the story that we had was that all the characters died. That
Okay.
there was an explosion at whatever they were at, all the characters died. And to portray that they were all dead, they after the scene of where they died, they all wore white hankies on top of their head.
Okay.
So yeah, it was rough. So yeah, that was, I know that was a long story, but that was just rough. Like if you had gone with us, like we would have just been like laughing up and cracking up the whole time on just like, it was just so, it was bad. So
uh,
I'm sure there are much better murder mystery dinner experiences out there than that one.
oh, most likely.
So,
Oh man. Yeah.
but
Um.
yeah, so they
But
a lot of this movie, do you think that the movie was too confusing at all?
maybe a little bit. I feel like the reason that they were there was a little convoluted,
Mhm.
and with the trying to figure out who the killer was at the end and going through all the different scenarios at fast pace, it was a little confusing at the end.
Yeah, I think the
The
end was,
movie felt longer than what it was too. And I'm not saying that like in a bad way. It's just this movie was an hour and a half long, but it felt like it was about 2 hours.
yeah, I fully agree with that. Um, and I also agree that the end can be kind of confusing. The foundation and the whole idea of why they're there, they do a pretty good job of explaining throughout, but there are a lot of moving pieces. So I was kind of curious on your take, especially since it was first time watch, because yeah, it's a good movie. It's fun, it's comical, it's witty. It's directed well. It's filmed well. The music fits fantastic. We didn't talk about that, but it is. I do kind of acknowledge that there are some things that um, I wouldn't necessarily say hurt it, but don't maybe help and reinforce it. You know, from the aspect of there are some confusing elements.
Yeah.
So, um, because I don't even know exactly which part to point out, but the reasoning why they're there, the explanation of some things, there's a lot of information that gets you at different points. But that's not really the point of the movie. The point of the movie is to be a fun, comical take on the game itself. And
Yeah.
so I think that's why it overcomes that, where it's just like, if this was a serious murder mystery movie, then you want more information to make more clear sense at the end of it. Where with this, it's just like you're having fun. You don't care as much about those details.
Yeah, and I think they did a pretty good job with, the limited stuff they were given based on the game. I mean, it's been a long time since I played Clue, and the Clue game I had was a Simpsons Clue
Oh my gosh, that's
where
funny.
like Homer was Colonel Mustard.
Nice.
But yeah, I remember it being a fun time. Like friends and I used to play in high school. But yeah, I mean, to base a movie off a board game and to have it be, that entertaining and to fill it out for an hour and a half is pretty impressive.
Yeah, I'm trying to think now. Um, I'm actually Googling it right now. Other movies based on,
Battleship,
yeah, Battleship was the first one that came to mind.
Ouija.
Werewolves Within,
Yeah,
Ouija. Um, how, okay, Clue's right there. Oh, wait, are there a couple different Clue movies? Dungeons and Dragons, that's kind of a board game, kind of a different
that's a role playing game, so I would say that's got a lot more depth to it.
yeah, game
Was there a
night.
Risk? Was there a Risk
Not showing
movie?
it. There was apparently a Candyland game, but it looks like that was animated. So, oh,
Uh,
and that well, actually, this would be backwards, wouldn't it? Jumanji,
yeah,
because it was first the movie and then the game.
yeah,
Yeah. So, yeah, no, I mean, d- uh, have you seen Battleship?
nah.
I haven't either, so I don't really know that I could say anything about it because I feel like I would just be making up BS, but I don't, I never really did hear anything good about it.
Yeah, yeah. To me, I saw when it came out that it kind of looked like a random like Michael Bay movie. It was like a Transformers movie, pretty much. And I'm
Yeah.
like, I have no interest in that. And Rihanna's in it
Oh gosh, I forgot
for
about that.
reasons. Yeah. Anything else? You want me to get the trivia and facts?
Let's do trivia and facts.
Rock. So Tim Curry has cited this as one of his favorite movies that he has acted in.
Rock.
Yeah, it seemed like he was having a really good time with it.
Mm-hmm.
So we talked about the multiple endings. There were three endings that were shot, and a different one shown at each theater. All three are included on video. The DVD, however, aside from all three endings, offers the option to play the movie with one randomly selected ending.
Hmm.
In some cities, newspaper print ads indicated which version, ending A, B, or C, was being shown at each theater. So
Interesting.
they did do the different endings, I guess.
Okay.
So Khan's short "Flames on the Side of My Face" monologue about her hatred for Yvette the French maid was actually ad-libbed.
That's funny. That is one of the most referenced things from this movie.
Yeah.
Uh,
So according to an interview with the writer and director Jonathan Lynn after the screening on the 25th anniversary of the movie's release, Carrie Fisher was originally cast as Miss Scarlet until
hmm.
she ended up in rehab for drug addiction 4 days after, or 4 days before filming started.
Oh man.
Fisher called Lynn and agreed to work to a work furlough, which received approval from her clinicians and the producers, but was vetoed by the production's insurance company, forcing Lynn to dismiss her from the project. Leslie Ann Warren was cast as a last minute replacement.
I think that worked out pretty well. I mean, I think Fisher would have been fun, but
Yeah. The color of each character's car is the same color as their playing piece in the game and is
mm,
introduced as follows. We got Colonel Mustard who drives a yellow 54 Cadillac. Mrs. White drives a black and white 1950 MG. Mrs. Peacock drives a blue 1952 Packard. Mr. Green drives a 51 Plymouth Cranbrook. Miss Scarlet drives a 46 red Lincoln Continental. And Professor Plum drives a 49 Pontiac Streamliner station wagon.
did not notice that.
Yeah, I don't know that much about cars, but that was listed on IMDb.
Okay.
So the entire house is a set except for the ballroom, which is shot on location at a mansion in Pasadena. The main set was then bought by Aaron Spelling, who used it as the Carlton Hotel in Dynasty
Hmm.
in 1981 show. Leslie Ann Warren, Christopher Lloyd, and Martin Mull reunited the spoof, the movie, in the Psych episode 100 Clues.
Oh, I don't know if I caught that. I remember Chris. Oh, no, no, no. I do remember that. I do remember. Wait, I didn't realize I recognized Christopher Lloyd, but I don't think I put together Leslie Ann Warren and Martin Mull in there.
Yeah.
Huh. I might have to go back and watch that.
So it was actually John Landis's idea to have three different endings playing in different theaters. His reasoning was that if the audience caught onto this gimmick, they would each go to the film three times. His plan backfired as people decided that they didn't want this to pay three times to see the same movie.
Hmm.
So Jennifer Jason Leigh, Demi Moore, and Madonna were all considered for the role of the buxom French maid Yvette. Eager to earn the part, Colleen Camp went to her audition in a low-cut French maid costume, showing a lot of cleavage. In a 2013 BuzzFeed retrospective, writer and director Jonathan Lynn admitted that although he was impressed with Camp's comedic acting skills, it was her well-endowed figure that ultimately convinced him. He said there was no avoiding it.
Hmm.
So Eileen Brennan's first film after her release from the Betty Ford Center for painkiller addiction caused by her recovery from an 82 car accident. Brennan's greatest physical challenge during shooting was running around the mansion for the reenactment sequence.
Uh,
And the last thing I got is this movie had a $15 million budget and it only made 14 in the box office.
oh,
So yeah, not a box office success, but that's why it's a cult movie. And I got grades. IMDb, Rotten Tomatoes, what are they?
IMDb 7.8.
7.3.
Oh, Rotten Tomato critic, 6.7. Eh, 6.7.
7.3.
uh
73.
oh man, kind
Uh,
of close. Audience 88.
86.
Oh, closer with that one.
Yeah. And I think I'll go first this time because I'm sure you got more to say about it.
Rock.
It was a fun movie. I liked some of the humor. I liked we've talked about this before that I'm not like the biggest Tim Curry fan, but
Hmm.
there are movies that I enjoy his performance in. Home Alone 2 is one of them that always stands out to me and he always makes me laugh in that. I thought he did a really good job in this one, kind of just being like the wacky guy at the end, trying to explain everything and go through all the different scenarios that made me laugh. Um, yeah, the rest of the cast I thought was pretty good too. There's some good comedic actors in there, like I mentioned earlier, with Christopher Lloyd and Martin Mull and Michael McKean. Um, and the fact that it took me so long to figure out that that wasn't Susan Sarandon. But yeah, I ended up giving it a 4 out of 5. I thought it was a pretty fun movie. I'm not sure how many times I'll watch it. I think it feels like one of those movies I'll have to be in the mood to watch, but I enjoyed it. It was a good time.
Rock. Yeah, I'm right in that same ballpark. I gave it a 4.5 out of 5. Um, because it's in that comedy murder mystery niche, I guess, if we're kind of putting in a category to compare with other movies. And in that genre, I do think that's one, if not possibly the most popular movie. Doesn't mean that's a perfect movie, of course. Um, but yeah, lots of fun, simple kind of little gimmicks and everything. Doesn't really blunder over anything. The music worked really well. Like I said, it was filmed really well. Honestly, with all the moving pieces that they had, um,
Mm-hmm.
they edited it so that it wasn't confusing.
Yeah.
So props to them for that, even though they were trying to do the whole multiple ending kind of thing. That all wound up working out. So yeah, I enjoyed it. Great performances, and yeah, just not gonna be one of those movies that resonates for everybody. But in its genre, in what it was going for, I think they did a fantastic job. Definitely love Tim Curry in it. Great cast, and I am often a sucker for a movie that is able to execute with a small cast and minimal filming locations.
Right.
When you can do that successfully, I it kind of impresses me. Like Reservoir Dogs, um, I love. I know that's actually got more filming locations than this one, but just how effective you can be with minimal characters and minimal locations, that's something that I like to see. So, but yeah,
Yeah.
4.5 out of 5.
Or The Room.
Yeah, good one right there. Good one.
I fed up with this world.
Everybody betray me.
Oh, we need a remake of Clue with Tommy Wiseau playing every character.
Oh my gosh, yes.
Oh man.
That's what you asked for, but they'll give you Clue remade where Eddie Murphy plays every character. And it's like,
Eddie
no.
Murphy and Eddie Murphy and Mike Myers.
That actually would be pretty funny.
Awesome. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh man. Uh, well, please subscribe and share. You can follow us on social media. We're on pretty much every platform. We have a YouTube, we have a TikTok. Check those out for some video content. Go to our website. It's rockvideorental.com. There's quite a bit of stuff on there. And we are going to be wrapping up Cult Movie Month with one of the bigger cult movies. It's one I really enjoy, and this could be a first time watch for Caleb, and that's The Big Lebowski. So, if you're a fan of The Dude, come by next time and we're going to be talking about that. Until then, as always, be kind and rewind.